Tim Hensley here with the Urban Homestead. It is September the 7th, and we wanted to give a talk on several early autumn apples. I have Aubrey here with me. She's going to be the official taste tester, and I'll be tasting as well. And we're going to be talking today about the St. Edmunds Pippin, the Jonagold, the Betsy Deaton, the Old Virginia Winesap, the Virginia Beauty, and the Ozark Pippin. And we're going to start here. We'll go right down the line with the list that we've given. We'll start with the St. Edmunds Pippin. Here is an old apple that originated in 1870 in Bury, St. Edmunds, England, and it's described as maybe as the prettiest of the russet apples. Russet apples look like brown paper bags. Some of them. We have another variety called the Rusty Coat, and it looks very much. It has the texture, the rough sandpapery feel, and the look of a brown paper bag. But this one, one writer has described it as having it being entirely covered with a flawless, smooth, pure golden or fawn colored russet, and that I think that's a pretty accurate description of this thing. And these russet apples are generally a very sweet apple, and we're going to just cut right into these and take a little bit of a sample. This one's had a little bit of some bug get into him, but pretty clean apple overall. The skin on these russet apples will impart a sort of a nutty flavor, and most people like these just for fresh eating. The Rusty Coat is sometimes used for drying, as I recall, and the St. Edmunds is described as having a pear-like flavor, and that's a pear-like flavor and texture, and I would say that that's something similar to a pear in a way. What do you think, Aubrey?
I think it kind of tastes like a pear and a tomato.
A pear and a tomato. It's got the tang of a tomato. Well, there's St. Edmunds Pippin, and our next apple is the Jonagold. And this is another rather large apple. I believe this goes back to '68, and there was a trial at one of the ag stations, maybe up in Geneva, New York, and across Jonathan and Golden Delicious. And they had a whole bunch of seedlings that they started with, and finally selected this apple. And I think of this as just a dessert apple for eating out of hand. It's also a large apple. These that we have here are not as large as they can get, but really a fine apple for eating out of hand. There's a piece, Aubrey. It's much milder than the St. Edmunds Pippin. So it doesn't, it's not a challenge to get that one down, and maybe it wouldn't be the best pie apple. St. Edmunds, I believe you could make a pie out of that. Well, the next apple is the Betsy Deaton, and years ago I was working at a garden center. This is a very obscure apple, not many folks know it. It was grown over in North Carolina, as I recall, Yancey County, maybe it originated over there. But I was talking with a fellow from Mountain City, Tennessee, an old guy, and I asked him what apples he grew up with, and he named Betsy Deaton. And different from the names that we give our apples today, like a Jonagold, the hybrid, the Delcon. Someone has said that sounds like a corporate merger. So Betsy